Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Holton Talks. We're joined today by myself, Scott, Aaron, and Jamie. Lads, how are we?
I'm
Not
good,
too
man.
bad,
How are you?
mate.
Yeah, good. Happy Christmas, everybody. And Villa keeping up the tradition of keep winning matches, which is always a good sign. Keeps everyone happy over Christmas. Initial thoughts on the 2-1 victory at Chelsea. I'll come to you first, Jamie, before we get into it.
Yeah, no, happy. I would have taken a point before the game. I won't lie. But yeah, no, I thought even in the first half, when we'll get into it a bit more in depth later on. But being that first half being how bad as it was, we've done it. We done a similar thing at Leeds, West Ham, not so much. But I remember Tottenham away, we were, just sitting for majority of the first half, but predominantly the Chelsea and the Leeds away games, we were all from the first half, but from a defensive standpoint, just sat in. And then, second half just completely changed it on its head. So I was out actually, and I said I was with a Chelsea fan, and I said that we'll come out in the second half because that's just what we've been doing this season. It seems away from home, and we won't just sit in for the whole game. It's how Emery sets up. So yeah, I would so see what happens in the second half, and like I said, the changes he made was spot on. Everyone that came on done their part. But yeah, overall very happy.
Yeah, Azzy, just your quick thoughts on it before we get into it properly.
I was actually worried first half because I know Emery away games likes to sit back a little bit to start off with, but we weren't even keeping the ball, were we? First half, and it was looking like it was a one way traffic. The thing that annoyed me the most was their goal, like how poorly we had been, and we conceded a rubbish goal like that. But yeah, it's like Jamie said, 3 subs come on and Onana, Sancho, and Watkins, and made a real difference. I actually think Sancho as well, probably the best half hour of football I've seen him play. The way that he got the ball and was running at people, so encouraging signs from him. I didn't actually agree with dropping Onana at the time, so I think he's been the better midfielder out of him, Kamara, and Tillemans recently. But yeah, we got there in the end and got the win, so happy days.
Yeah, so we'll go back to the beginning. I think team news comes out, and the big two are obviously Onana and Ollie are out for Buendia and Marlon. But the Buendia one I was a bit shocked with, because I think away at Chelsea, is he kind of the right player to have in a game like that? I think you're right in what you said about Onana, because he's probably been one of the better players that we've had over this period, and just offers us a massive presence in the middle. And then the other one was Ollie in Marlon. I think we were kind of all in agreement, but thoughts on that? Jay, I'll come to you.
Yeah, I mean, I thought straight away I was a bit weirded out why he didn't start both Onana and Ollie. I think Ollie for your legs, out of possession. He could occupy Badiashile and Chalobah, especially if it's back to goal. And then Onana as well. I think probably our moves back the pitch well, and he's probably one of our best. Well, defensive midfielders, out and out defensive midfielders. He's probably the best we've got. So I thought it was weird why we weren't starting them. But yeah, the Buendia one, I didn't pre-kickoff. I could see where he was coming from because Buendia does a lot off the ball. But again, yeah, I can't remember a pass he completed. And then Marlon, again, I thought it was just strange. But if he was trying to hit him on the counter in the first half and sit in, then if you look at it from that way, Marlon, you put a ball over the top, Marlon's going to get there over Ollie. So I can see where he was coming from, but it just didn't work whatsoever.
Yeah, the one thing I was on the Buendia one was Rodgers has been on fire the last few weeks, predominantly from the left. And obviously Buendia coming in, playing on the left, meant Rodgers going into the middle. Azzy, what was your take on that?
I can sort of see the Buendia just more for his legs, potentially, away from Chelsea. But then he doesn't. I know he's done okay recently, and I'm not his biggest fan, but creativity, he's not like up there in our squad, if you know what I mean. Me personally, that's my opinion. which we could see in the first half we didn't create nothing. And like you said, pushing Rodgers inside where he hasn't been playing recently, I think really affected us. But whether he thought he would get more joy out of Rodgers in the middle rather up against Reece James potentially, maybe. The Marlin for Watkins, well, I think Watkins has been playing well recently, just not scoring. But I think I put on the group chat, it's what else he offers us, especially with stretching defenders. But whether he's still got that little knee problem, maybe he was just giving him a rest, and maybe might have spoke to him and said, "Look, you come on for the last half hour, change the game." But if there was no injuries or no resting of the players, I would have stuck with Onana and Watkins personally.
Yeah, I think he's come out and said that he was trying to manage minutes.
Mm.
I get it. Does make sense. You've got to rotate the squad. We'll get on to the Ollie because I think he did a special mention for that performance. I was thinking probably up to the goal, it's prime memory performance away from home. Although we've been awful, and I don't think any Villa fan could say we played well. Part of me thought this could be prime memory where we soak it up for the first half and we get one or two and off until the goal went in. And I think, like you said, Azzy, the goal is so soft. It's not even a whipped corner; it's a floated corner, and Martinez is more involved pushing players out the way. Obviously, Pedro and goes in, but what a soft goal to concede.
If you actually look at it defensively, the only major chance we conceded was that Enzo Fernandez one towards the start of the game. So defensively, I didn't think we were that bad. And I think Lindelof
is that, by the way, that chance.
I know, and Lindelof deserves a special mention because obviously when he's come in, I thought, oh, here we go. Do you know what I mean? Torres missing, but I think he's actually been really good the last few games for us. So also as well as Watkins, Lindelof needs a special mention as well. But yeah, that was the only sort of chance we gave up without playing very well, if you know what I mean. So defensively, we still look quite good.
Yeah. I mean, Jay, your thoughts on that goal? Because it's a shocker from the defensive point.
Yeah, I mean, I think overall from set pieces so far, we have looked quite good defensively, but the main reason for that is you look how many first contacts Onana gets, and then when he came on, I think they had a throw in, and
he won two in a row, didn't he?
Yeah,
front post.
Yeah, because obviously, especially on the long throws, no one's going to, unless you obviously Roy the lap, no one's going to beat the first post. Chances are, so he always gets first contact. So the reason we're so good is because we have him in there, and if he starts, that goal probably doesn't happen because he would have got first contact there for sure. But what as he said there about Lindelof, I was going to say a bit later on, but he was my man of the match before, obviously. Ollie got the brace, so obviously you'd have to go Ollie for that. But Sancho and Onana done well as well. But next to Ollie, I'll put Lindelof. I thought he was class yesterday. I thought he we spoke about before, not having Powell there for the way we play is so hard, and you rely heavily on Tielemans, and no one's going to be able to fit Pau Torres' shoes with his boots with playing out from the back, but Lindelof done what he could in a way that Torres can't. Like the way he was driving through the lines yesterday, again, I thought it was superb. Similar to the way that he done against West Ham for the Rodgers second goal. He was just baiting the press, and then when it came to him, he was just driving through and being confident. And I was really happy with him yesterday. I thought he was very, very good in the air. In possession, he was class. Out of possession, he was good. Especially on the left side as well, because obviously Ezri's never played there, so you don't expect him to. But for Lindelof to play in effect out of position in his least favoured side, I thought he was superb yesterday. And obviously, when Torres comes back, you'd imagine he'll slot straight back in. But you can't fault, his what he's done since he's come in here. If it wasn't Pau Torres and say, for example, it was Mings that got injured, I don't think Mings comes straight back in. I think he sticks with Lindelof, but obviously see what happens. But yeah, Lindelof was class yesterday.
I would say the shirt at the moment definitely Lindelof. I think it shows when we signed him. I don't think any of us three did it, but there were people saying, "Oh, Lindelof boring," but he showed yesterday what experience can bring in any team.
Sorry to interrupt, Scott. When we done like a summer transfer window thing, I remember you were excited about Elliot. I can't remember what Azzy said, but I said I was most excited about Lindelof because obviously I love my defensive sort of football anyway, being a defender. But when we signed him, I didn't think he was that bad at United. It was just obviously the culture around the club at the minute. So I was actually really excited that we signed Lindelof, and I'm happy that he has got his chance and he's proven to everyone that he is a good centre half. You know, he's a good quality Premier League centre half.
Well, yeah, that is pretty much what I was going to say. I think some people are naive to think it's Lindelof who was crap at United, but he was playing in bad teams. United was there a long time. It goes stuck for a while. But I think he's shown up over the last 4 or 5 games that yes, he's not as good as Pau Torres on the ball, or maybe not as good a one-on-one as Konsa is, but he can do a good job, which Villa signing him on a free transfer when you've not got a lot of money to spend. Good business, and he's obviously showing his worth at the moment. So hopefully he can carry it on. I've got the stats written down up until the 59th minute. Chelsea 11 shots, 3 on target. Villa 2 shots, none on target. And then after the 59th minute, the stats are Chelsea 3 shots at goal, none on target. Villa 9 shots at goal, 8 on target. Now
just to barge in there quickly, people said we had no shots in the first half. We had 1 shot, John McGinn's free kick.
Doesn't count as a shot.
What do you mean it doesn't count as a shot? He's tried scoring from the free kick.
It wasn't a shot.
What was it then?
It was a cross.
If that was a cross, he should be playing football.
It's a shot to me. If it was Bruno Fernandes doing that, they'd give it down as a shot.
Yeah, but that's why not put it down as a shot. You know what I'm saying. Anyway, the free were obviously made in the 59th minute. Like you said, Sancho was probably the best played because I think he actually, when he went back to Dortmund, he was playing more on the right than the left.
Yeah, he was
more on the left, but he actually looked really sharp on the right. Onana came. That's a good bit of physicality. He does really well for the first goal because he intercepts Badiashiel's pass, which is a poor pass out. We had a little fight for the first goal. We'd actually started to, put a few passes together. Tielemans and Kamara in that first half were probably the worst I've seen. Definitely Tielemans played this season so far. He couldn't keep the ball for shit. And then obviously Ollie Watkins. I watched Match of the Day back this morning, and that he was unbelievable. I'm not saying Ollie played like that for a hell of a long time. He could have had probably a hat trick, 3 or 4. He made some chances, really good runs. He looked powerful again, like he had a little yard of pace. But yeah, who wants to touch on the first goal? One of you do one goal, one of you do the other.
I'm happy to do the first one if Faz wants to do the second.
Go for it.
You crack on, my boy.
Like he says about the extra yard of pace, I noticed that as well, and it's the power that he had 2 years ago. So this time 2 years ago, it looked like he had that. Obviously, I know he's coming on fresh and he's against tired legs, but the power to get through, and it's just the body position. You weren't seeing that him on the half turn. Earlier on in the season, he was always back to goal, and even if he was on the half turn, he could never get the shot off or get the extra yard ahead. But I was happy it was against Chalobah because I was speaking to a few Chelsea fans, and they're saying that Chalobah's been the best centre half from this season, which he might be, but they started telling me that he should be playing for England over Ezri, and that just proves there because I thought he'd done really well to hold off the pressure from Chalobah. Obviously lucky with the rebound, but he got in the position in the first place, and he's got there through holding off supposedly from Chelsea's perspective England's best centre half and putting it in the back of the net. So he's done the job. It's just worked great. And like he says, he's done more. See, as he will touch on the second goal, but the finish is superb, and he could have had a hat trick, could have had 4 goals. He can occupy a back line, and you don't get that with Marlon. There's different players. You're going to need Marlon in some games, and you're going to need Ollie in some games. Like for me personally, when we play against Palace in a few weeks at Selhurst Park, you're going to need Ollie because Marlon against 3 centre halves, he's going to get murdered. at least with Ollie, you stand a fighting chance of. Yeah, I know we struggle against three at the back, but with Ollie, you know, he can stick to one of them, or even if he has two on him, he could stands a much better chance at laying off, etc. But yeah, that's all I've got to say on the first goal. But overall, really, really happy with what Ollie done yesterday.
Yeah, I think it was actually a really well worked goal. Like I said, Badiashil's clearance is shocking, but Onana does well to pick it out. But then from that moment, I think Kamara, he like really fizzes one into Rodgers, good touch out of his feet. Ollie does really well, gets a little bit of luck, obviously finish, but sometimes you make your own luck, and we've done well up to that point to get into that position. And then after that, it did feel like Villa were on top. Chelsea had just gone to pieces. And then the sub where they brought on Gusto Correa, not work it out at all, because I thought Correa was obviously quite effective for them. And it's Gusto that is half-heartedly marking Watkins for the second. But I'll let you touch on the goal, Azzy. Obviously, it's a corner and it's a direct ball in and a good header. But
yeah, you see all these set pieces that we do, and that one's just a straightforward one, but it's a really hard header because he is sort of coming away from the ball, if that makes sense. And to get the power on it and direction that he did was a great header. But yeah, going back to Gusto, did you see him? He's like trying to head his chest, wasn't he? From the, did I know if you saw him on Match of the Day there when they showed him, or after the game. But yeah, it was so it's just a simple set piece. I think Chelsea was owner, weren't they? And had a couple of people marking, but he just walked his way into the box, and what a header! To say the power he got on it and direction into that corner, it's the only sort of place it could go past Sanchez for it not to be saved. So
I thought Sanchez was having such a good game as well.
he was having a very good game.
he made a couple of really good saves. He obviously listened to our pod when I put 17 in the goal. Yeah, I mean, obviously that's 11 wins now, all competitions. The last 9 games we've won by a single goal. Going back to the last game that we did was the Bournemouth game. 9 games in all competitions where we've won it by 1 goal. We're not used to seeing Villa like this. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, Villa would have gone a goal down at Chelsea, and we would have never, and we would have all been watching. Game over. But even I think yesterday, although we were playing absolutely shite for 60 minutes, the minute we scored, even the WhatsApp chat, nothing really got said, because probably deep down we're all like, oh, and it's for Villa now, because Watkins said it after, Emery's just a bloody genius. And we are literally riding a crest of a wave at the moment. You've got to take her out, because coming back in any match is tough. But we've done it so many times now. 18 points losing position, which mad, really, half of our point. You can't underestimate the character of the team. They literally fly in. They believe in the process. Emery said from the beginning, always trust the process, trust the process. But I mean, where do you think Villa are at the moment in terms of? It's an Arsenal City a bet. I'd say that they're not, but are we cemented as, the top, this whole big 6? But,
Yeah, I'll start it off as the only person who predicted Villa to be up there at the end of the season, at the start of the season. If we lose top 4 now, it's I think it's a bad season for us, being 10 points clear. So it sort of reverses itself now. If we actually don't get top 4, is it a bad season from where we are at the moment? But yeah, all credit to the manager, the coaching staff, the players for what we're currently on. We're not even playing well in games. We're having like little spells, half hour here, 20 minutes there, and that's getting us over the line at the moment. But how long can it last? I don't know.
Well, I think we were looking at these 2 games, and we would obviously come on to Arsenal short. But I think a lot of people from the outside world were saying, you'll know if Villa in a title race come after the Arsenal game. Now, it's still too early to say, are we in a title race? If we get to game week 30, 31, still within 3 points, I think you can say you're in a title race. All you can do is keep winning matches and picking points up. Wins away at Stamford Bridge go a long way to cementing yourself top 4, though. You've got gap to Liverpool. We've got a 10-point gap to Chelsea and United. We make up the top 6. And I think you're right, Azzy, that if you don't get top 4 from here, you've chucked it away, really. I think if anyone had been offered to start the season, you would have snapped their hand off for it. Realistically, Jay, do you think we can keep this going, or is it just take it game by game, see how long we can keep going?
No, game by game. I think the only thing that might come to bite us in the backside is the depth, because we have had our injuries this year already, defensively. But you look at, I don't know, City and Arsenal, for example. Well, let's take Arsenal against Brighton. They had Declan Rice at right back. I think Calafiori got injured in the warm up. Timber got injured in the week. They had to put him. I don't know where Ben White was, but they put Declan Rice at right back. But then they still had Zubimendi, Moreno, and Ødegaard in the middle. You take them 3, they're still a top quality midfield. It's just, it's like I said, take it game by game. But to be in the position we're in, and this year, I'd imagine it'll be the top 5 again, because the coefficient, we're so far ahead in first place. It'd have to be the English teams basically just have to fold every single game in Europe. Across the board, for us not to get that 5th spot. So if you look from that's an extra spot available, 10 points clear at the minute. I know we still have tricky games to come, i.e., Old Trafford, which we always bottle at. Etihad, we've got Emirates on Tuesday, but everyone has those games. So take it game by game, but we have one of the best managers in the world. I think, he's the reason we are where we are. I know a lot of talk recently has been about Rodgers, and yeah, he has pulled us through, but that's come from Emery identifying him as a talent. The game last night comes through. I was talking to someone on Instagram, and I said, I was like, how we were in that first half is how we've been most of the season away from home. We do this, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but it's been working a lot more than what it hasn't. And sitting in and trying to hit on the counter and then turning it like that, it's what he's been doing for the past couple of months now away from home, and it's working. But yeah, definitely take it game by game. But hopefully, I don't know what our finances are like for January, but we basically already signed that Alisson. Don't know what he's going to be like, if he'll play a big part or not, I'm not sure. But if Elliott goes back to Liverpool, which is looking likely as well. I think the Athletic reporter said that we're in for another right back to be in contention with Cash. So if that comes in, it's just, if you can get a winger of quality, I don't know what Alisson's going to be like, but if you can get a winger of quality and, someone to help Cash, because, the drop down from Cash to Garcia at the minute is quite a lot, you get a few additions and see where we're at. But right now, why can't we believe?
I'm pretty sure that is going into the development squad, so I don't actually think that we'll see him this season.
Maybe. I don't know how much we're signing him for, because obviously I remember when we signed Duran, everyone was saying the same thing about Duran, and Duran came in and was basically in every match they scored. So see what happens. But at the end of the day, if we sign him for 9 million, he's not going to go in the 21s as a £9 million signing. But see what happens. But that's what I was getting at. If Emery likes him, then do you know what I mean? There's no reason for us to not be excited. And again, if we don't sign anyone in January, to me, to me, it's like, okay, well, the right player wasn't there, because you can get anyone on the cheap. Do you know what I mean? Then it's not right for Emery. So if we don't sign anyone in January, you don't sign anyone. But see what happens.
Yeah, I think you could we'll probably do a podcast on the window who we could bring in. I don't think there'll be many. If we are finances, it would be one or two. I think there's a very fine line between just squad and all that. But like I said, we'll do that in another episode. We'll come on to Arsenal, and we'll just look at that briefly. 18 games in, we're sat on 39 points. This is obviously tomorrow, Tuesday will be the halfway point. I think if any of us got offered points after 19 games, take it. We would most definitely take 42 points. we've obviously lost Kashi and Kamara to suspension, so you would imagine Anana in the middle with potentially Bogard at right back. But like you just said a minute ago, Jay, Arsenal got their problem. When we played them at Villa Park, obviously Gabriel went out back fit. I don't think Gabriel was yet, which is a big boost. But are we thinking that similar game plan to the Chelsea game where we sit in and try and hit them, or not? Because probably Arsenal have better quality forward. And if let's be honest, if we play like we played against Chelsea first hour, we will be 2 or 3 down again.
It's a tough one, really, isn't it? Because, like you said, Arsenal have probably got a better players than Chelsea that could probably open us up if we sit back too much. I would think more similar to the game at Villa Park. Hopefully, look, if it's a free hit for us, really, in my eyes, no one's expecting us to win, I don't think. And obviously, if we do win, then we're level on points with Arsenal at the end of the day. But the way we play, I expect Bogard to come in for Cash and Anana for Tillemans, and I expect Anana in for Kamara, and I expect Watkins to come back in for Marlon. So I would just maybe attack a bit more than what we did against Chelsea. But who knows? Who knows with Emery? Jay?
Yeah, I mean, again, the changes you guys said, I'll probably do as well. Part of me was thinking he might try, if Torres is fit, obviously we don't know yet. If Torres is fit, you might try to squeeze him in and push Lindelof out wide instead of Bogart, because Lindelof was on good form, but he weren't even on the bench, was he? I don't think, Torres, so I doubt that. And yeah, they got Saliba obviously back fit. Gabriel, I think, came on for 25 minutes against Brighton, so he might, with all their defensive frailties at the minute, i.e. Declan Rice playing at right back, I think he might be forced into it, but that might actually suit us because, if he ain't fully fit, then that suits us even more. But yeah, like as he said, it's a free hit, so I don't expect us to win. Yesterday it wasn't keeping pace with City and Chelsea. It was keeping further away from Chelsea, United. Palace losing today to Tottenham is important because I think now they're 13 points away from us. So it's keeping that gap from teams that can get to that 4th spot, that 4th and 5th spot. That gap needs to be as big as possible. I'm not really concerned with looking up at the minute. Obviously, again, like we said earlier, we can dream, but you can do that on game 32, 33, not where we're at. But yeah, I would imagine how the game will go is we'll be sitting in because that's just away from home at the Emirates. We've done that under Emery every single time. Even when we won 2-0, we sat in for the first half and then got them late on in the second. Last year we drew 2-2. We weren't that great in the first half, and then we the Tielemans header out of nowhere and then sparked us to life. I reckon it'll be similar, but again, they have more quality, so it'll be interesting to see if we can hold on for as long as we can without 2 of our best players. So, tough one to predict.
Yeah, I think you're right. We're looking down instead of looking up because we're all being realistic. And we can dream about a title charge, but top 4 is obviously definitely the aim. It's going to be tough with no Booba or Cat because both are playing well. I think Anana and Tielemans obviously will be good, but then we lose a little bit of depth off the bench as we saw against Chelsea to make the subs because there is no Barkley. But come on, it's Bogard's pass through to where we actually win the corner. So he can do a job in the middle, but we'll obviously probably play it right back. I think majority would point now, and we'd hit 40 points. That would technically mean we're probably safe, which I think we'd all take, wouldn't we? So we've hit 40 points after the halfway mark. But yeah, let's make no bones about it. I think the Chelsea game is a winnable game. And if you were to take 3 points out of 6, you would. But the way they're playing right now, we result against us. I don't think Arsenal great since they played us, kind of just grinding results. They'll want to turn us over because of what happened. But again, we can get 3 points. It's a massive statement going to obviously the new year. I'll have a prediction both, yeah.
I'll go 1-1 Ollie Watkins to score.
Jay.
I'll always go for Villa win, so I'll go 2-1. I think if Ødegaard's what you're talking about, they're struggling to score. If Ødegaard playing central and they force Eze out to the left at times, Eze is in the winger. They were dominating games when Eze was central. Now they can only seem to buy an own goal, really, or win by the odd goal. So it's Ødegaard being central that's kind of killed their attack, which just sounds weird because he's one of the best number 10s in the league, but it's disrupted their flow they had when he was injured. But yeah, I'll go for 2-1 Villa.
I don't want to bet Villa to lose, so I'll fucking 3-1 Villa.
4-0 Villa.
But quick goals on the counter. It's tough. Listen, it's tough. They're very good at home. Do you know what I mean? But we're living in a world. I saw a video earlier, and I think it was Sam, True Adventures, where he said we're living in the good old days when we look back at now. So, let's carry on riding the wave as such. Listen, if we can make it 12 wins out of 12, then that's some bloody run. But yeah, what will be? I think we've got to back the boys at the moment. So we'll wrap up there. We are doing the quiz, has it?
Yes, we are.
All right, I'll hand over to you so we can finish this up.
Before we get started, I need to know who's going first or second. So I'm holding the number up. Scott, 1 or 2?
2.
It was 1. Jamie, do you want to go first or second?
I'll go first. Fuck it.
Go first. Do you know what the current score is? I normally write it down, but I forgot.
I think I'm winning by 2 or 3. I think
6-5.
We'll look back on the previous video, but
that was last one. It was 6-5, and then I won again, didn't
I? So obviously looking back at our winning streaks under Dean Smith, I want. Obviously, Jamie, you said you'll go first. So the first game of that winning streak, I need the score. Don't worry about goal scorers, just the score of the game.
Jesus. It was Derby 4-0.
Correct. 1 point, Scott.
I'm not gonna get this.
It's 5 points each, up for grabs.
I know the next game, but I don't know the games after.
What year did we get promoted? 2000.
So this was in 2019, I believe. I think it was.
Derby. What did we play? Derby.
I remember the game after Derby. I can't remember the games after.
It's quite a memorable game.
Oh yeah, just help him out, why don't you?
Was it Blues?
Brilliant.
It
Cheers.
was
you know what
score.
I mean? What the fuck?
All Villa. 1-0 Villa.
Correct. One each, Jamie.
Why would you say that?
If you get it wrong, it can be handed over.
Oh my god, he would have got that wrong as well.
Yeah, get you both off to a point each. Do you know what I mean? I can give you a clue if you want.
I mean, well, you gave Scott one.
But this will probably help Scott more than you. Me and Scott were there.
Oh, brilliant. You're at Forest, but Forest was earlier on in the season, I think. The McGinn brace, the 3-1. I think that was earlier on in the season. Home, away.
I've got the scores. It's Jamie 11, me 9.
And how much are these? A point each?
Point each. It's currently 1-1.
Blues was a Sunday, so you're at home. Probably next game, I'm going to guess. Mate, I have no idea. If you said you're in Scott, I reckon it would have been away because surely I would have been there at home, maybe.
We're going to have to push you for time here, mate.
I'm going to have to go 3-1 Forest. The 3-1 Villa game at Forest.
Correct.
Is it? Oh, Jesus! I clutched that out of nowhere.
Correct. Scott, over to you.
Who the fuck did we beat after Forest?
We can't make these quizzes easy at the end. You know what I mean? You've got to get you thinking a bit.
Middlesbrough.
Score?
3-0.
Correct. 2-2. Jamie, over to you.
Was that Middlesbrough at home?
Yep.
I'll go for. Oh, no, that one was later on in the run. I'll go for.
To help you out from now, I'll say we're at home for this game.
Okay.
To help you out.
I'll go for. I'm trying to think of teams we beat in the run. I'll go for Millwall.
No. Scott, over to you to nick a point.
Blackburn.
Score?
Oh, that was the other one I was going for.
2-1.
2-1, correct. 3-2, Scott. Scott, over to you. Next game, and we were away.
It's either Sheffield Wednesday or Sheffield Wednesday 1.
Was score?
3-1.
Correct. 4-2, Scott. Jamie, over to you. We were away.
Was that the Rotherham one?
Score?
That was 2-1.
Correct. 4-3, Scott. Scott, over to you. We're at home.
Bit concerned about what Scott's looking at other than the screen. I won't lie.
Me book.
Yeah, all right.
I'm gonna say that was the Bristol City game.
Score?
2-1.
Correct. 5-3, Scott. Over to you, Jay. We were away.
Who did we beat then? After Bristol City, Millwall's still in it.
2 games left. 5-3, Scott.
Bolton away, 1-0. Grealish.
No way.
Incorrect. Over to Scott.
Bezzy scored 2-0.
Correct. 6-3, Scott.
Did I get the game right?
Game was right. It was 2-0 Villa, though.
Oh, I didn't think we'd need the score as
Well,
well.
it was mentioned at the start. 6-3, Scott. Over to you for the last game.
I think Jay said it earlier. Millwall 1-0 last game of the season.
It wasn't the last game. We lost to Norwich.
Last game of the season, but so you go deducting points for that.
So that's 7-3 to Scott. What was the score? 11-9 going into it.
11-9, yeah.
You know, Jay, you're taking a battering. So that's 16-12 to Scott overall.
If I was ahead by 2 and he's won that by 4, how is he 4 ahead of me?
It was 11-9 to you, so you're on 11. You
2
got
ahead, so he should only be
14. Sorry, yeah, you're on 14. Sorry,
pair of cheating bastards.
Sorry.
16.
Well, you should have given me half of one for that Bolton one.
No, sorry,
I thought
mate.
it was a Grealish header. I thought that was it. I didn't realise Chester scores.
Was it?
Well done, Scott.
Thanks. Most of them were guesses, to be fair.
I bet they were. I done better than what I thought, to be fair.
It's the early ones, the early games.
I only remember a few. Oh, so I remember the start. I remember the Millwall. I remember the Blackburn, the Sheffield Wednesday. But I think there's a few like the Bristol City one. I have no recollection of.
Bristol City were flying at the time. Do you know what
I don't remember. I thought the Forest one, the 3-1, was earlier on in the season. But after I said it, I remembered that was the 5-5, wasn't it?
Yeah, we've had that white kit. And then on the way home, Scott, it took us forever to get home because we went through some roadworks at 50 miles an hour. And then I went to sleep, woke up an hour later, he's still doing 50. Lorry's beeping and flashing at him. Roadwork finished a half hour ago.
Safety first.
Good away day though, wasn't it, Scott?
Forest away was one of my favourites that year.
Parts at Notts County, didn't we? Notts County's ground.
Good one. Right, that'll do us. We will be back, or we're going to do a big old quiz on New Year's Day, aren't we?
I don't think. Yeah, we are.
Try to. If we can all fit it in, we will try.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, first I've heard of it.
You put it on the group.
I'm busy New Year's Day, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait, no, it's not. We'll do it before New Year's Day to come out on New Year's Day.
Oh, that's what I meant.
You're not being clear. Like, you know, when someone says 9:10 and it's, you know, 9:30.
Right, anyway, up the Villa.
You've got Christine put to bed. I've got the babies to sort out.
Mate, don't hate the player, hate the game.
I have kids that go to bed on their own, mate. You know what I mean? Parenting, you know what I mean?
Self-sufficient, mate.
Will still be awake.
Indian Ava, oh yeah, Thea's fast asleep.
Thea's turning the walls up, mate.
He's got to be in prison for the day. Right. Anyway, we'll be back. Thanks for watching. Like, follow the TikTok page, Jazz, and yeah,
Up the Villa.
Up the Villa.